Chosen one, listen closely. If you're seeing this video right now, I need you to understand something that is beyond ordinary coincidence. It's not the algorithm that brought you here, nor is it random luck. This is a divine appointment. God has orchestrated this moment specifically for you, and you are not here by accident. Right now, you are at a crossroads in your life, a pivotal moment that demands your immediate attention. There's a message, a calling that must be received and acted upon without delay. I don't say this lightly. The urgency of this message cannot be overstated. Time is literally running out, and what God is about to release in your life hinges on the decision you make in this very moment. Right now, you're being given a rare opportunity, a window that is open only for a brief period. This is not some far-off event in the distant future. It's not next month. It's not when you finally feel ready or when your circumstances are perfect. The time is now. God is calling you to act today, not tomorrow. Many of us wait for the perfect moment when the finances are right, when the fear subsides, when we feel more prepared. But let me make this clear, perfect conditions rarely come, and God's timing does not wait for perfection. This moment, this very instant, is the time to move. The window is open, but it won't stay open forever. It's vital that you grasp this truth with both hands. What you do in the next 24 hours will have a profound impact on the next chapter of your life. You've likely been feeling it already, the restlessness, the sense that something big is about to shift. You've been seeing the signs, hearing the whispers, and feeling the stirring in your spirit. Perhaps you've noticed the numbers repeating your dreams, becoming more vivid, or people from your past reappearing unexpectedly. These aren't just coincidences. They are divine confirmations that God is aligning everything for this moment. The acceleration you're experiencing, where things feel like they are moving faster than ever before, is not chaos. It's confirmation that you are in the midst of a divine shift. Heaven and earth are aligning, and God is moving you into position. It's happening right now, and the question is, will you respond? God is not just asking you to wait for some abstract time in the future. He is calling you to act today in this very moment. This is your time, your opportunity, and it's not something to be taken lightly. You're being asked to step into what He has been preparing you for, to take action when He says to move, not when you feel it's convenient or when everything makes perfect sense. The question He's asking you today is clear. Will you move now, or will you wait for the ideal circumstances that may never come? This is a critical juncture in your journey, and your response will determine whether you step into the fullness of what God has for you, or whether you miss this moment entirely. So I urge you, don't wait. Don't let fear or doubt paralyze you. God's timing is now, and the window is open for a limited time. The next steps you take will determine your future. There is no more time to delay. This is the divine moment you've been waiting for. Move forward in faith, with courage, and with the understanding that everything you need is already within you. God is with you, and His plan for your life is unfolding right now. Right now, I want you to stop and reflect on something profound. You're currently standing at the edge of a divine opportunity, a window that God has opened just for you. This is not something to wait for, to hesitate about, or to let pass by. It's a fleeting moment, one that is specific and time-sensitive. The truth is, the window of opportunity God has opened for you is not going to stay open forever. It's a 24-hour window, and the question is, will you step into it now, or will you wait for the perfect time that may never come? This is your moment, and you must recognize it for what it is, a divinely orchestrated chance to move forward into the next phase of your purpose. God is giving you the chance to act right now in this very moment, and it's up to you to seize it with boldness and faith. So many people get caught in the trap of thinking that they will act when the time is just right. They wait for the stars to align, for their circumstances to improve, or for some grand sign to confirm it's time. But the reality is, divine timing doesn't work like that. The window of opportunity God has set before you is not about waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about recognizing that the time is now, even if things feel uncertain, even if your situation isn't ideal, and even if you don't have everything figured out. God doesn't operate on human timing. His timing is perfect, and it's precisely when you feel a sense of urgency, restlessness, or discomfort that His divine timing is calling you to act. Think about the signs you've been receiving lately. Have you been feeling restless, like something is about to change, but you're unsure what it is? Have certain numbers been showing up repeatedly, perhaps 1112, 22444, or other patterns that seem to follow you everywhere you go? Or maybe people from your past are resurfacing, bringing up unresolved emotions or conversations you thought were long behind you. These aren't just random occurrences. These are divine confirmations that the window of opportunity is opening for you. God is showing you that the time to act is now, that you're in the midst of something significant. These signs, these synchronicities, are meant to wake you up, to remind you that you are being positioned for something greater. But here's the thing, the reason you're feeling this sense of urgency is because God's timing doesn't wait for perfect conditions to align. Human timing is often driven by fear, fear of failure, fear of not being ready, fear of making the wrong choice. We want everything to make sense first, and only then do we feel it's safe to act. But divine timing works differently. God doesn't require you to have everything figured out or to be in a perfect situation before He asks you to move. He calls you to act in faith, trusting that He will guide you through the unknown even when you don't have all the answers. Look at the example of Abraham in Genesis 12. God didn't give Abraham a detailed map or a clear plan. He simply said, "Go." And Abraham went, not knowing where he was going, but trusting God's direction. Abraham didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. He didn't wait for the clarity that would make him feel fully ready. Instead, he moved, and in doing so, he activated the divine plan that God had set in motion. Abraham's obedience came before the clarity. The movement came before the map. God's instructions often come before the full understanding of the plan, and that's what you're being called to now. This is the pattern of divine timing. It's not about waiting for everything to align perfectly. It's about moving in obedience, trusting that God will reveal the next step as you go. The truth is, moving too soon is not the danger. The real danger is being too afraid to move when God tells you to. The Israelites faced this very dilemma at Kadesh Barnea. When God told them to enter the promised land, they hesitated. They sent spies to check out the land, and when they heard that giants lived there, they became afraid. Even though God had already given them the victory, they chose to wait, thinking they needed more time to prepare. The next day, when they changed their minds and tried to enter, God told them it was too late. The window had closed. Their fear and hesitation had caused them to miss the divine timing, and they were left outside the promise they had been given. This is the same risk you face right now. You are in a divine window, and if you hesitate too long, the opportunity will pass you by. The chance to move into what God has prepared for you and will shift, and someone else will take that moment. God's blessings are time-sensitive, and while He is gracious and will continue to guide you, there are moments in life that require immediate action. The window you have before you is real, and it's up to you to step into it with courage, knowing that your obedience is what will unlock the next level of your purpose. The signs, the restlessness, the divine disruptions you've been experiencing are all part of this divine timing. God is asking you today, will you move? Will you act in obedience, trusting that the moment you've been waiting for is right now? Your hesitation is the only thing standing between you and the breakthrough God is ready to release. Trust His timing, trust His plan, and know that He has already gone ahead of you, preparing the way. All you need to do is move when He says move, and everything you need will be provided along the way. If you've been feeling unsettled lately, like the ground beneath you is shifting, I need you to understand something crucial. These disruptions you're experiencing, whether in your relationships, your daily routines, or even in your sense of security, are not random occurrences. They are divine disruptions. God is shaking things up in your life on purpose. You might feel like the comfort you once relied on is slipping away, but I want to assure you that these disturbances are not meant to harm you. They are part of God's divine plan to prepare you for what's coming next. Comfort can be a trap, and it often keeps us from stepping into the fullness of what God has for us. If you've been feeling unsettled, it's because God is calling you to move, to let go of your old securities, and to step into a new season that requires a higher level of trust and obedience. For some of you, this disruption may be playing out in your relationships. People who once brought you comfort and security may no longer be in alignment with where God is calling you. This can be painful, but remember, it is not a punishment. It's preparation. God is removing people and situations that are no longer part of your divine purpose. He's clearing the way so that you can fully commit to the path He has set before you. You may feel the weight of these changes, but trust that God is working behind the scenes to position you for something greater. Your plan B, those fallback options you've held on to for comfort, is being removed because God is calling you to fully commit to Plan A, His plan for your life. When your backup plan is no longer available, you are forced to step into the next chapter with complete trust in God's provision. The same principle applies to your routines. You may have noticed that what once worked for you no longer provides the same peace or stability. Things that felt comfortable and familiar are now draining you or causing discomfort. This is a divine disruption, and it's part of God's way of waking you up to the truth. It's time to move forward. The old ways were good for a season, but that season is over. God is calling you to a higher place, a place that requires you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown with faith. This disruption isn't an obstacle, it's an invitation. It's God's way of calling you to greater things, and you must be willing to let go of what no longer serves you in order to step into the new. Now, with these disruptions, I know it's easy to feel confused, even a little lost. When everything starts to feel uncertain, you may wonder if you've missed something, if you've made the wrong decisions. But here's the truth: these feelings of unrest are divine invitations to clarity. If you've been sensing a specific direction or decision that keeps resurfacing in your mind, I need you to pay attention. This is not a coincidence. God is repeating the same message to you and over because He wants you to hear it, and more importantly, He wants you to act on it. These recurring thoughts, that one decision or direction that keeps coming back to you, are not signs of indecisiveness. No, they are signs of God's persistent call. He isn't unsure. He's being patient with you, waiting for you to move. Perhaps it's a conversation. You know you need to have a decision that's been on your heart for a while, or a door that's been knocking at your heart, but you've been hesitant to open. Whatever it is, it's been coming up over and over, and it's because God is giving you a clear and unmistakable direction. His repeated messages are a confirmation that you are being positioned for breakthrough. God is not repeating himself because he's unsure. He's repeating himself because he knows that you are struggling to step forward. He's trying to get your attention and make it clear that this is the moment for action. And the more you resist, the more the message will repeat itself because God doesn't want you to miss it. You may be experiencing a deep sense of urgency right now, a feeling that something is about to change. It's not just a fleeting emotion. It's divine confirmation that you're in a moment of positioning. God is aligning the pieces, and it's happening right now. The numbers you've been seeing repeatedly, the patterns that seem to follow you wherever you go, are not random. Whether it's seeing the number 1112224444 or any other repeating sequence, these are divine markers. They are not signs of mere coincidence or New Age numerology. They are confirmations from God. He's using these numbers as a way to remind you that He is in control, that He is guiding you, and that He is positioning you for a divine breakthrough. Every time you see those numbers, know that God is saying you are on the right path. Keep moving forward. These repetitive signs are God's way of saying, you're not alone in this. I am with you. I am guiding you. They are divine winks, little nudges from heaven to confirm that you're exactly where you need to be. You're not losing your mind. You're not imagining these signs. They are real and they are meant to lead you to action. God is using these signals to help you stay focused and alert as you walk into your breakthrough. If you've been feeling this stirring, this urgency, this divine disruption followed by unusual clarity, then understand that God is positioning you right now for something big. This is not a time to shrink back. It's a time to move forward with boldness and trust. The clarity you're receiving is not just for today, but for your future. God is laying the foundation for something bigger, something you can't even fully comprehend yet. But what you can understand right now is that He's asking you to act on what He's shown you. Don't let fear or doubt cloud your clarity, the same way God repeatedly spoke to His people throughout Scripture. He is speaking to you now through these disruptions, these repeated signs, and this unusual clarity. Now it's time to move. This divine positioning isn't something that happens once and then disappears. It's a continuous unfolding process. Each step you take in faith is a step toward your divine destiny. The more you trust in God's timing and clarity, the more you'll see the doors open, the opportunities manifest, and the path ahead become clearer. What you're experiencing right now, all the disruptions, the strange clarity, the signs, they are not random. They are part of God's plan to position you for His purpose. And the breakthrough that you're about to experience is going to be bigger than anything you could have imagined, because you've been faithful, you've been obedient, and now you're walking in divine timing. Keep moving forward because your breakthrough is already in motion. As you continue moving forward in this journey, it's important to recognize that these divine disruptions are not isolated events. They are part of a larger sacred process. The interruptions in your life, whether in your relationships, work, or daily routines, are not meant to create chaos or confusion, but to gently guide you toward the path that God has set before you. Sometimes comfort is the greatest barrier to transformation. When we become too comfortable in our lives, we tend to settle. We stop growing, stop moving, and stop seeking God's higher purpose for us. But God, in His infinite wisdom, knows that in order for you to step into your full potential, He must disrupt the things that no longer serve you. It may be uncomfortable at first, but this disruption is a sign that something far better is waiting for you. Perhaps you've been feeling that your usual coping mechanisms no longer bring peace. Relationships that once brought comfort might now feel strained or difficult, and activities that once felt fulfilling may seem empty. It's in these moments of discomfort that God is calling you to let go of the things that were never meant to define you. He is challenging you to move out of the familiar and embrace the unknown where true growth happens. You may feel a sense of loss as though you're leaving behind something that once felt safe, but remember that God is not taking things away from you. He's making room for something far greater. This discomfort is a sign of spiritual elevation. It's God's way of asking you to trust Him even when it feels like everything is being uprooted. The disruptions you're feeling are also directly linked to a deep calling within you, a call to step into your divine purpose. You may have felt this stirring for a long time, and now God is ensuring that you no longer ignore it. It's time to move away from the distractions, the things that once seemed to matter, but now no longer do. Your purpose is waiting for you, and in order to reach it, God is clearing the path. He's removing anything that could hinder your progress, whether it be unhealthy attachments, outdated mindsets, or anything that keeps you from moving forward in faith. What may seem like a painful transition is actually God's grace pushing you closer to your destiny. The beauty of this divine disruption is that it comes with clarity. The confusion and uncertainty you've felt before are beginning to dissipate. Instead of being overwhelmed by the noise, you are now hearing God's voice more clearly than ever before. That one decision, that one door, that one direction that keeps resurfacing in your heart. This is the clarity you've been waiting for. When you begin to notice the same thoughts or desires returning to your mind, don't dismiss them as fleeting whims. These are God's whispers guiding you toward His perfect plan. He is not indecisive. He is clear, and He is trying to lead you with purpose. These repetitive signs, whether through thoughts, dreams, or even numbers, are a reminder that God is speaking to you and that you are in alignment with His will. Your clarity is not something you've generated on your own. It's a gift from God. Take a moment to acknowledge that these signs are not a coincidence. If you have been seeing specific numbers repeatedly, whether it's 111444 or any other sequence, this is God's way of communicating with you. Numbers throughout Scripture and in your life today are powerful indicators of divine movement. They are God's way of telling you, I'm with you. Keep moving. You're on the right path. These numbers are not random occurrences. They are divine markers meant to assure you that God's presence is with you every step of the way. Every time you see these numbers, know that God is reinforcing His message to you. He is signaling that your timing is not by chance, but by His perfect plan. In moments of divine disruption and clarity, the key is to remain faithful. God is creating space for His will to unfold in your life, and He's asking you to trust Him as He leads you toward what you've been preparing for all along. When things feel uncertain, don't allow doubt or fear to overshadow the clarity He's giving you. Trust that God is opening your eyes to see the truth, and He's asking you to step forward, not in your own strength, but in His. The clarity you're receiving is the result of divine preparation. It's the confirmation that you are being positioned exactly where you need to be to fulfill your calling. What is it that keeps coming back to your mind? What decision, what conversation, what opportunity keeps resurfacing, despite your attempts to push it aside? That is the area God is asking you to act on. It's not a passing thought or a fleeting desire. It's His will calling you to step into your destiny. God doesn't repeat Himself out of indecision. He repeats Himself because He knows how slow we are to obey. When something keeps coming back to you, don't ignore it. God is trying to get your attention. He is inviting you to act, and the longer you resist, the longer you delay your breakthrough. Remember, these signs are divine confirmations that you are being positioned for something bigger than yourself. Your breakthrough is already in motion, and the decisions you make today will accelerate the process. God is guiding you toward your breakthrough, but you must act. If you've been experiencing divine disruption, unusual clarity, and repeated signs, this is your moment to step forward. It is not a coincidence that you're in this place right now, feeling the pull of something greater. It is divine positioning, and God is preparing you for the manifestation of your breakthrough. You are not being asked to have everything figured out. You are not being asked to know the full plan. What you are being asked to do is to trust in God's timing, to respond to His call with boldness, and to move forward even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. This is the pattern of divine positioning. God disrupts your comfort to prepare you for what's ahead, gives you clarity to help you make the right choices, and confirms His will through repeated signs. Now it's time for you to step into it. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is right in front of you, and it's time to act. The window is open, and God is ready to accelerate your purpose. As you stand at the threshold of this divine moment, it's important to understand the urgency of what is happening in your life right now. The window God has opened for you is not going to stay open forever. This is not just any moment. It is a specific, time-sensitive opportunity that will close once its purpose has been fulfilled. God's divine windows are fleeting, and when they open, it's not just an invitation to step forward. It's a divine call to action. This moment is not about tomorrow, next month, or whenever you feel ready. It is now, and it's urgent that you recognize the significance of the timing. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing the very breakthrough you've been waiting for. When divine timing is acted upon, everything shifts. What once felt like a distant dream, something that would take years to achieve, can be released in an instant. This is the beauty of God's timing. When it's time, the floodgates of heaven open, and opportunities, blessings, and breakthroughs that you've been praying for are suddenly in your hands. It may have taken years of preparation, but in a moment, everything aligns. The doors you've been knocking on for years will swing open with ease. The prayers you've whispered in the quiet moments of your life will be answered. What once seemed impossible will become inevitable. This is the power of divine acceleration, and it's happening now. But it requires you to act, to move with the timing that God has set in motion. If you've been feeling the pull, the urgency to move, this is the time to listen. God has been positioning you, preparing you, and now it's time for you to take the first step. Don't let fear, doubt, or hesitation hold you back. The fear of moving too quickly or too late is one of the greatest challenges many face when standing on the edge of their breakthrough. But I need you to hear this: the only way to miss God's timing is by hesitating. Fear of acting too soon or too late can paralyze you, making you think that you need to wait for a perfect moment or for the ideal circumstances. But God is not asking you to wait for perfection. He is asking you to move when He says move, even if you don't have all the answers. Hesitation is what causes many to miss out on what God has for them. It's not the rush of moving too quickly that will lead you astray. It's the hesitation, the fear of stepping out in faith when God is calling you forward. Take a moment to reflect on the story of the Israelites at Kadesh Barnea, as recorded in Numbers 14:40. God had promised the Israelites the land of Canaan, a land flowing with milk and honey. But when they sent spies into the land, the report they received was filled with fear. The giants in the land seemed too powerful, the challenges too great. Despite God's clear instruction to enter and take possession of the land, the people hesitated. They allowed fear to stop them, believing they needed more time, more preparation, more reassurance. But the moment passed. God told them, "It's too late now. You missed your window." The window for action closed, and the opportunity to step into the promise was lost because of their hesitation. This is the danger of waiting for perfect conditions. God's windows of opportunity are not meant to align with your human timing. They are divine moments that require immediate action. The Israelites missed their moment because they waited until they felt fully ready, and by the time they decided to act, the door was shut. Don't let that be your story. God is not asking you to have everything figured out before you move. He's asking you to trust Him and take action now, even when the full picture isn't clear. His timing is perfect, and He has already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. You may be asking yourself, what if I move too quickly? What if I make the wrong decision? These questions are natural, but they stem from fear. God is not looking for you to have all the answers. He's looking for your obedience. He's asking you to trust that He will guide you every step of the way. If you wait for the perfect moment, you may miss the moment entirely. If you hesitate, the breakthrough you've been praying for may slip through your fingers. But if you trust God's perfect timing, if you act when He tells you to act, you will experience the acceleration that only divine timing can bring. When you step into God's timing, you are stepping into the flow of His plan, and that flow will carry you into the destiny He has prepared for you. I know that it's not always easy to take that first step. The unknown can be intimidating, and moving forward without knowing exactly what's ahead can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth: the breakthrough is already in motion. The doors are already opening. What you've been waiting for is waiting for you to move in faith. You are not alone in this journey. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, strengthening you, and opening the doors that were once closed. The moment you take that first step, the acceleration begins. The momentum will build, and you will see the doors that seemed closed for so long swing open with ease. Opportunities that seemed impossible will become tangible. You're not just moving for the sake of movement. You're moving into divine acceleration. The longer you wait, the longer you delay your breakthrough. The longer you hesitate, the more you risk missing the divine window that God has opened. Trust His timing. Trust that when He says move, He has already prepared the way for you. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for obedience. The window is open now. The opportunity is now. Take action today and watch as the breakthrough you've been praying for unfolds before you. God's timing is not slow. It's perfect. The time to act is now, and everything you need to move forward is already in place. Step into the acceleration that God is offering you, and don't let fear hold you back from the divine momentum that is waiting to carry you into your future. The beauty of divine acceleration is that once you make the decision to step into God's timing, things begin to move quickly. What took years of struggle, what seemed like an endless waiting period, can be fast-tracked by God's hand. This isn't just about the speed of movement, but about the divine alignment that takes place when you act in obedience to His call. Doors that once seemed closed will open effortlessly, and paths that appeared impossible will suddenly be cleared. This is the power of divine acceleration, the moment when God's timing causes everything to shift, and your breakthrough comes swiftly far beyond what you could have imagined on your own. But to experience this acceleration, you must first overcome the hesitation that holds you back. The fear of making a mistake, the fear of moving too soon or too late can paralyze you. The enemy uses this fear to keep you in a state of inaction, where you are stuck in the waiting room of your destiny. It's easy to convince yourself that you need more time to prepare, that you need more clarity before you can take that first step. But here's the reality: God doesn't need you to have everything figured out. He doesn't need you to have the full picture. He simply needs you to trust Him enough to take the next step. This is the pattern we see in Scripture time and time again. God calls His people to step out in faith, to move in His timing, even when they don't have all the answers. Think about Peter walking on water in Matthew 14:29. He didn't know how to walk on water, but when Jesus called him out of the boat, Peter didn't hesitate. He took that first step, and the supernatural power of God carried him through. It wasn't about Peter's ability to walk on water. It was about his obedience to move when Jesus called. As soon as he took the first step in obedience, divine acceleration kicked in, and he was able to do the impossible. When God calls you to move, He isn't asking you to figure everything out first. He's asking you to trust Him enough to move without having all the answers. And the moment you move in obedience, you unlock the acceleration of God's plan in your life. The fear that has been holding you back begins to fade, and clarity follows. The next step becomes clear, and you can move forward with confidence because you are walking in divine alignment. You are no longer waiting for everything to be perfect. You are trusting that God is perfecting the plan as you go. But let's be real, this requires a shift in mindset. It requires you to let go of the need for control and perfection. It requires you to stop trying to figure everything out in your own strength and start trusting that God's timing is far better than any plan you could make. When you operate in human timing, you are waiting for everything to make sense, for the stars to align, and for the fear to disappear. But when you operate in divine timing, you act in the face of uncertainty, knowing that God's plan is already in motion, even if you can't see the whole picture. You see, it's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about being ready when God calls you. The Israelites at Kadesh Barnea missed their moment because they hesitated. God had already promised them victory, but when the giants in the land seemed too big, they let fear dictate their actions. They waited for the perfect moment, but it never came. By the time they decided to act, the window of opportunity had closed. God's promise didn't change, but the timing did. The same thing can happen to you. If you wait too long, if you hesitate too much, you risk missing the divine window that God has opened for you. This is why the call to move now is so urgent. There is a specific moment in God's plan that, when acted upon, leads to divine acceleration. The moment you take action, God moves with you. What may have taken years of struggle can suddenly be released in a moment of obedience. But the first step must be taken now. Hesitation is the only thing that can stop you from stepping into the breakthrough that God has prepared for you. The moment you choose to trust God's timing and move in obedience, you will experience the acceleration that you've been waiting for. The breakthrough will come not by your own efforts, but by the divine alignment of God's plan, and it will happen faster than you could have imagined. It's time to stop waiting for everything to be perfect. It's time to stop allowing fear to hold you back. God is calling you to take action now, to step into His perfect timing, and to experience the acceleration that comes when you move in divine alignment. Your destiny is waiting for you, and the only thing standing between you and it is your willingness to move when God says move. Trust that His timing is perfect. Trust that when He says now, He has already gone ahead of you and prepared the way. Step forward in faith and watch as divine acceleration propels you into the next season of your life. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is already in motion, but it requires you to take action now. The window is open, move forward, and experience the acceleration of God's perfect timing. Now that we've laid the foundation of understanding divine timing and the urgency of this moment, it's time for you to take action. Action is the key to unlocking the acceleration that God is already preparing for you. This is where you move from simply recognizing the moment to actively stepping into it. The time to act is now. You've been waiting, you've been praying, and now God is asking you to take the first step. So let's focus on the actionable steps you need to take today. The first thing you need to do is identify the one thing that God has been highlighting to you. I know it's easy to get overwhelmed by the many possibilities and decisions in life, but right now, there is one specific thing that God has been placing on your heart. It may have been a decision that keeps resurfacing in your mind, a conversation. You know you need to have a door that has been knocking at your heart, but you've been hesitant to open. This is your divine moment, and God is asking you to focus on this one thing. What is it? Think about it deeply. Write it down immediately. Don't delay. There's power in writing it down because it gives clarity and shifts your mindset from passive thinking to active decision-making. By writing it down, you are committing to the action you're about to take. It doesn't matter if the action isn't perfect. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. What matters is that you take one tangible step today, no matter how small. Perfection is not required. Obedience is. God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He needs you to move. Proverbs 3:27 reminds us, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to act." Right now, it is in your power to act, and God is calling you to do so. The window of opportunity is open, and the power to step forward is in your hands. You are not waiting for the right time. The right time is now, and you are equipped with everything you need to take that first step. When you act in divine timing, things begin to shift. Doors that have been locked for years will suddenly swing open. Opportunities that once seemed far off or impossible will start to materialize in your life. But here's the thing, you must be spiritually and mentally prepared for what's coming next. God is not asking you to move in a vacuum. He is preparing you for acceleration. You need to be ready to handle the shift, the breakthroughs, and the opportunities that are about to unfold before you. Think about the story of Esther, a woman who faced a life-changing decision that required immediate action. In Esther 4, she was called to approach the king to plead for her people, a move that could have cost her life. But before she acted, she prepared herself spiritually. She fasted and prayed, aligning her heart with God's will, knowing that the moment required more than just courage, it required divine alignment. The same applies to you. While you are moving into action, you must also prepare yourself spiritually for what's coming. God's timing doesn't just bring opportunities, it brings a transformation that requires you to be spiritually alert and mentally ready. As you take action today, you must be attuned to God's frequency. Just like Esther, you need to position yourself to receive what God is about to release. There is a divine frequency, a spiritual wavelength that you need to be on in order to handle the acceleration. When you are in sync with God's timing, your actions align with His perfect plan, and the breakthroughs you've been waiting for begin to unfold faster than you could have imagined. But if you're operating on the wrong frequency, one of fear, doubt, or anxiety, then that acceleration may be stifled. The key to handling divine acceleration is maintaining spiritual clarity. When God begins to move, He moves quickly, but you must be able to recognize His voice, His leading, and His direction. Your mind must be clear of distractions, and your heart must be open to obedience. This is why it's so important to act with faith. As you take that first step today, it's not just about the action itself. It's about aligning your heart with God's will, ensuring that your mind and spirit are ready for the acceleration that will follow. When you step into action today, know that the moment you move, God will begin to move with you. Things that were once impossible will start to become possible. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp. But with this acceleration comes responsibility. God is not just releasing blessings for you to sit on. He is entrusting you with a divine mission that requires your active participation. Your obedience today is setting the stage for what is about to come. It's not about waiting for the stars to align. It's about trusting that God is already aligning everything you need for this breakthrough. When you step into divine timing, you step into a supernatural flow that will carry you into the promises God has prepared for you. You must prepare yourself for the shifts in your life. There will be a shift in your relationships, your finances, your purpose, and even in your spiritual walk. But this shift will only happen if you are willing to take the first step. Do not wait for the perfect moment. It's here right now. Your action today will unlock divine opportunities that have been waiting for you. You are in a divine window, and you must be ready to move with God's timing, to step into your destiny with boldness and faith. So what's the first step you need to take today? Is it making that phone call, starting that project, having that conversation, writing that email? Whatever it is, take the smallest, most tangible step toward it today. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. Act now. Your breakthrough is waiting for you on the other side of your obedience. And when you take that first step, you will begin to feel the acceleration. The doors will open, the opportunities will flood in, and God will move swiftly to align your purpose with His timing. Remember, God is not asking for perfection. He's asking for obedience. And in your obedience, He will bring the acceleration you need. Trust Him today, move in faith, and prepare for the breakthrough that is on its way. God is with you every step of the way. The moment is now. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back from the divine acceleration that awaits you. Take action today and watch as God works on your behalf to bring everything into alignment. The time is now and you are ready. As you continue to move forward, it's important to understand that acting today isn't just about checking off a box or completing a task. It's about stepping into the flow of God's divine plan. When you align yourself with His will and act on the direction He's giving you, you're not just moving through the motions, you're engaging in the very process that God has designed to bring you to your breakthrough. It's like stepping onto a moving walkway at an airport. Once you start walking, the momentum carries you forward faster than if you were trying to move on your own. But the key is to step onto that walkway. You have to make the decision to start walking. And when you do, God's divine momentum takes over. And the momentum doesn't stop once you take the first step. Every decision you make today, every small action you take sets in motion a ripple effect that will begin to accelerate things in ways you might not fully understand. You might not see the full picture, but remember, God doesn't need you to see the whole journey. He just needs you to trust that He is leading you step by step into His promises. There is power in your obedience. The smallest step, when taken in faith, can open doors that have been closed for years. What once seemed impossible can become inevitable as you move forward, trusting God's timing. You might be wondering, though, what if I mess up? What if I make the wrong decision? This is a common fear, especially when we're walking in unknown territory. But let me reassure you, God is not asking for perfection, He's asking for obedience. Perfection will never be possible on your own, but obedience is a choice. God is not concerned with your ability to get everything right. He is concerned with your willingness to trust Him and follow His lead. When you take action in obedience, even if it feels small or imperfect, God honors that obedience. He honors the faith it takes to take the first step, even when you don't have all the answers. And when you move in obedience, God will multiply your efforts and bring about acceleration that you couldn't have achieved on your own. Remember, when God opens a door, it's not just for you to walk through and stop. It's a call to move further. There's a momentum that comes with divine timing. When you take that first step, and things will start moving faster than you imagined. The opportunities, the connections, the blessings, they all come together in divine alignment. However, this acceleration is not just about the physical opportunities that open up around you. It's also about your spiritual growth. As you take action in God's timing, you'll find that He's not just accelerating your circumstances, He's accelerating your understanding, your wisdom, and your capacity to handle what He's about to release in your life. You're not the same person you were yesterday. You are being prepared for greater things, and that preparation involves the ability to keep up with the speed of your breakthrough. Just as Esther fasted and prayed before stepping into her moment of destiny, you too must prepare spiritually for the acceleration that's coming. Spiritual preparation is essential. When God accelerates your life, you need to be in the right frequency to handle the acceleration. Think about how a race car driver prepares before a race. It's not just about having the fastest car, it's about being mentally and physically prepared for the speed at which the car is going to move. Similarly, when God accelerates your life, you need to be spiritually ready to handle the speed of the breakthrough. This requires staying in alignment with God's will, staying grounded in His Word, and maintaining your spiritual focus. If your mind and spirit are not aligned with God's plan, the acceleration may feel overwhelming rather than empowering. How do you prepare spiritually for this acceleration? First, you must maintain a posture of humility. Acceleration brings opportunities, but with opportunities comes responsibility. You must be ready to handle the responsibility that comes with the blessing. This means staying grounded in prayer, staying connected to the truth of God's Word, and continuously seeking His guidance. The more you align yourself with His will, the more you'll be able to navigate the acceleration with clarity and peace. The more you stay rooted in His presence, the less you'll be swayed by fear, doubt, or distractions. Second, you must maintain your peace. Acceleration doesn't mean chaos. In fact, the faster things move, the more you need to hold on to your peace. When God accelerates your life, it's important to remain calm and focused. Don't let the noise of the world or the pressure of the moment cause you to lose sight of your purpose. Esther didn't rush into the king's presence without first preparing herself spiritually. Similarly, you must remain centered in God's peace, knowing that when you move in His timing, everything will unfold according to His perfect plan. Third, you need to be prepared to let go of the old in order to embrace the new. Divine acceleration means that the things you've been waiting for will arrive quickly, but it also means that there may be things in your life that you need to release in order to feebly step into the new season. Just as God stripped away the distractions and insecurities from the Israelites before they entered the Promised Land, He may be asking you to let go of things, habits, or mindsets that no longer serve you. You cannot move forward if you're still holding on to the past. The beauty of divine acceleration is that it allows you to experience the fullness of God's promises, but to do so, you must release the things that are holding you back. Lastly, remain in constant gratitude. As you take action and move forward, take time to thank God for each step He's guiding you through. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned with God's purpose and reminds you of His faithfulness. Even when things seem uncertain or you don't have all the answers, thank God for His provision, His timing, and His plan. Gratitude opens the door for more blessings and more acceleration. Now I want you to remember something critical. Divine acceleration doesn't always mean that everything will be easy. Acceleration is fast, but that doesn't mean it's without challenges. When you step into God's timing, you're stepping into a season of growth and transformation. There will be moments when things seem overwhelming, but that's when you need to trust in God's strength. His power is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel like you can't keep up with the pace of your breakthrough, remember that He is carrying you. You are not in this alone. In closing, as you take action today, as you step into the acceleration that God is bringing into your life, know this: you are being prepared for greatness. The acceleration you're about to experience is not just for the sake of moving faster. It's for the sake of stepping into God's divine plan for your life. Each step you take, no matter how small it may seem, brings you closer to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Trust in His timing. Trust in His provision. And most importantly, trust in your ability to keep moving forward, because you are exactly where God needs you to be. The acceleration is already happening now. It's your turn to step into it. As you step into divine acceleration, it's essential to remember that this is not a moment to be taken lightly. The acceleration God is bringing into your life is part of a bigger divine plan, one that spans beyond your immediate circumstances and touches the very core of your purpose. You are not just moving forward for the sake of progress. You are stepping into a season where everything you've gone through, all the waiting, the preparation, and the challenges are coming together for your breakthrough. The acceleration you are about to experience will fast-track your journey into the fullness of God's promises. But to navigate this acceleration effectively, you must be prepared not only in your actions, but in your heart and mind as well. When acceleration comes, things begin to move quickly, but it doesn't mean everything will be effortless. There will be moments when the speed of change might feel overwhelming, but it's precisely in those moments that your faith must stand firm. Divine acceleration doesn't just come with new opportunities. It comes with the responsibility to handle those opportunities wisely. In the same way, a race car driver doesn't just need a fast car to win. They also need the skill to handle that car at high speeds. Similarly, when God accelerates your life, you need to be spiritually grounded, mentally focused, and emotionally prepared to handle the speed and intensity of the blessings that are coming. To navigate this divine acceleration effectively, you need to maintain a posture of spiritual readiness. This is where your foundation in prayer, trust, and dependence on God becomes vital. Just as Esther prepared herself before she entered the king's presence, you must prepare your spirit to receive the blessings and breakthroughs that are about to unfold. Prayer and fasting, if needed, are key to aligning your heart with God's will. Your spiritual preparation will determine how well you handle the acceleration and how clearly you hear God's voice guiding you through each step of the way. Spiritual readiness also means being able to discern the voice of God above all other distractions. The speed at which things are moving may cause your mind to race, but it's crucial that you keep your focus. One of the dangers of acceleration is the temptation to rush ahead in your own strength without pausing to seek God's guidance. This can lead to decisions that are made out of impulse or impatience rather than divine wisdom. That's why it's essential to stay spiritually grounded, maintaining a lifestyle of prayer and meditation on God's Word. The more you spend time in God's presence, the clearer His voice will be, and the easier it will be to follow His lead as you move forward. The acceleration that's happening in your life will also require mental and emotional preparedness. The challenges and shifts you're about to face may feel daunting, but it's important to remember that God doesn't bring acceleration without equipping you for it. Just as an athlete trains before competing, you too must prepare mentally for the demands of your next season. The mind is a powerful tool, and it can either limit your potential or propel you toward your purpose. When acceleration comes, you must maintain a positive, focused mindset. God is doing something new, and that newness will require flexibility and resilience. You will face challenges, but your mental preparation will help you rise above them, knowing that God is with you, strengthening you, and guiding you through every moment. The importance of maintaining emotional balance during this time cannot be overstated. Acceleration can stir up emotions, and while those emotions are natural, you must not allow them to control your actions. You will experience moments of doubt, fear, or overwhelm, but these emotions do not dictate your future. They are simply feelings that will pass. The key to emotional stability during acceleration is to recognize that your emotions do not define your decisions. Instead, lean into God's peace. He is your anchor in the storm, and His peace surpasses all understanding. When the pace of change feels too fast, take a deep breath, center yourself in God's presence, and remind yourself that you are moving in alignment with His plan. As you prepare for divine acceleration, remember that your breakthrough will require more than just readiness. It will require faith. This is not the time to shrink back in fear or hesitation, but to step forward with boldness. The opportunities that are coming are not by your own efforts, but by God's grace. And while you are preparing yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, you must also prepare yourself to believe in the impossible. God is about to do in your life what only He can do. What once seemed like a distant dream, what seemed unattainable, will suddenly be within your reach. But in order to fully receive what He is about to release, you must have faith that God can do exactly what He promised. If you doubt, you will delay your own breakthrough. But if you trust, you will see miracles unfold before your eyes. Additionally, when divine acceleration comes, it brings with it an invitation to go beyond what you've known. It's easy to settle into the comfort of the familiar, but acceleration requires you to stretch, to grow, and to step into uncharted territory. This is a season of expansion. When God accelerates your life, He will stretch your capacity to receive, your capacity to love, and your capacity to serve. You will be called to step into roles, relationships, and opportunities that challenge you in ways you've never been challenged before. This is not a time for shrinking back. It's a time for boldness and courage. It's a time to step into the fullness of what God has for you, knowing that He has already equipped you for what's to come. The acceleration will also require action on your part. As God opens doors, it's not enough to stand back and wait for things to unfold without any effort from your side. Divine acceleration means that God is giving you the tools, the opportunities, and the divine favor to move quickly. However, the doors will remain open only as long as you are moving in faith. When God opens a door, it's your responsibility to walk through it. Do not hesitate or wait for the perfect conditions. Take the first step and watch as God works through you to bring His plans into fruition. Remember, divine acceleration is not about moving at your own pace or trying to control the outcome. It's about partnering with God in His timing and allowing His power to propel you forward. It's about trusting Him to take what has been years in the making and releasing it in a moment. And the more you stay aligned with Him, the more you will experience the fullness of His acceleration. This is your moment. Step into it with faith preparation and a heart ready for what God is about to release in your life. The breakthrough is closer than you think. Act with faith, trust in God's timing, and watch as divine acceleration transforms your life. As we reach the conclusion of this message, I want to remind you of the power of obedience and the importance of trusting God's perfect timing. This is not just another moment in your life. This is the moment. The window that God has opened for you is right here, right now, and He is calling you to step into it with faith. It's time to move forward, even if you don't have all the answers. The beauty of divine timing is that you don't have to know everything in advance. What you need is faith, the kind of faith that trusts God's leading, even when you don't see the full picture. You might not have every detail, but you do have enough to take that first step. And that step, no matter how small it may seem, will activate the breakthrough God has already set in motion. God has been preparing you for this exact moment. Your obedience is the key to unlocking the blessings, opportunities, and alignment that He has prepared for you. It's time to trust in His timing, to let go of your need for control, and to move with the confidence that He is right there with you. Time is running out. This divine window is open only for a limited time. And the more you hesitate, the more you risk missing the blessings that are ready to be released. But here's the great assurance: you are not moving alone. God is with you every step of the way. His presence, His guidance, and His strength will be there to carry you through this journey. Now is the time to act. This is your opportunity, and the moment to move is now. I want to encourage you to declare your faith by taking action today. Leave a comment below saying, "I'm moving in divine timing," as an act of faith and agreement with God's will. This declaration is not just words. It's a commitment to trust His timing and take that first step toward the breakthrough that is waiting for you. And don't keep this message to yourself. Share this video with someone else who may need to hear the urgency of divine timing. There are others around you who are also in a season of waiting, and your testimony and obedience could be the catalyst they need to step into their own divine moment. Remember, this is the moment, this is your divine window of opportunity. You are here for such a time as this, and everything is aligning for your breakthrough. The timing may not seem perfect in your eyes, but God's timing is always perfect. As you step forward in faith, trust that everything you need will come together in His perfect timing. Now is the time to act. Trust God, move in obedience, and watch as His perfect plan unfolds in your life. Let's close with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before You in gratitude and trust, knowing that You are the one who orders our steps. We thank You for this divine window of opportunity and for the timing that only You can orchestrate. We ask for strength to move forward in faith, clarity to see the path ahead, and courage to step into what You have prepared for us. Thank You for Your perfect timing and for being with us every step of the way. Give us the wisdom to act now and the faith to believe that You are always in control. We trust in Your plan, and we are ready to move with You. In Jesus' name, amen. Remember, chosen one, this is your moment. Move in divine timing. Step into the breakthrough that's waiting for you, and trust that God's timing is perfect. The doors are open, and everything you need is already in motion.